And I got our other neighbour Derek, who's a painter and decorator local to us, and to do it for him. Now, for a bit of beer money, and unfortunately, Derek is Scottish, and he inadvertently painted the flag the wrong way up.
No.
So in order to be allowed to fly at Cosford today, we had to agree with the authorities to fly over 60% of this display upside down.
Quite right. Are there no standards left?
Oh,
So,
well, yes.
Tell me a bit about what it's like in that aeroplane. What's the cockpit like?
Well, it's very cramped in there. It's very cramped, very compact. But it is very well thought out. Look at that spectacular thing. I don't know how he does that. We had some wasps in the cowling area earlier. I think they might have got loose by the way he's flying that. I hope he's all right. Yes, he's a bit of a cigar aficionado, Richard is. He insisted on an ashtray, which sits just to the left of the altimeter, which means he can puff away on a Cahibo or a Macanudo on those endlessly long cross-country runs that he makes between airs.
No, you're having me on here.
No, it's true. What's more, the cockpit is also fitted with a cappuccino cup holder, which will fit any cup size from espresso all the way up to Massimo Grande supersize. And there's even a neat bit of tech in there. I think it's called a zero-gravity sensor or something, which can even fly inverted without spilling a single station.
That's very impressive.
Well, certainly the amount of negative G's pulling there would be a bit like in a space station.
Yes. Well, I gather he flew his aerobatic routine with you in the two-seater version yesterday?
Well, that's right, indeed. Well, my initial thought as we crossed the channel in about 2 seconds was it's really rather lovely to have access to a working toilet under the driving seat. And I was amazed to see there's even a socket for plugging in a gramophone player.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, Richard thought of absolutely everything in the same way that the Vulcan transformed long-range bombing with its seat-back Etch-a-Sketch and Commodore 64 gaming console. Possible to fly to Russia without some sort of in-flight entertainment, I thought.
Well, absolutely.
And special mention has to be made about the wings, which I understand are made out of recycled lemonade bottles and cardboard egg cartons. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very eco-friendly aircraft. In fact, 97% of it's made from recycled materials. It is an amazing thing.
Well, I cannot disagree with that. That is absolutely amazing, and what a wonderful display.
It's still going very well. He's now doing something rather extraordinary. He does a thing in this biplane using this very enhanced propeller and then very powerful engine. In fact, he can almost hover it a bit like a Harrier, which is quite a feat, really, as Richard was a tornado pilot back in the day and never quite made it to the Harrier force, which, in retrospect, I think even he would admit was a blessing. You know what they say about the Harrier boys, don't you, Sean? One man, one fan.
Well, yes, but not like the new version that's going to come out eventually one day, the F-35. But of course, also here, talking of the Harrier, we have the amazing VAAC Harrier on the ground in the display area. Now, Richard, I think, is probably taking a little bit of a break there so that he can get started again on something equally violent. Yes, flicks it coming down towards us.
Look at that rate of descent, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredible. And just, you can almost imagine what the G-force must be like as he pulls out into that loop. That's called an Admiral multi-spin off a stall turn, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Just hanging there in the air, and he'll kick the rudder around in a second.
I don't think I've ever seen a torque turn go round so many times.
And into the voluntary excess dive. Now, Richard calls this next move the Zurich FIFA split. There it is. And a triple axle loop coming up shortly. I can see him through the binoculars puffing on that cigar right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's really enjoying himself. Oh, look at that, it's amazing. A double hammerhead or pinwheel, that's the Tower of Power. He calls that one, as he zooms back down to earth, working that engine overtime. sometimes, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, he actually brings his dog with him on these aerobatic sorties. Little Jack Russell, sweet little thing. And straps it in there, like in the back seat, or beside him. I'm not quite sure where he puts it, but it's a lovely thing to see.
Dog must be very fit, I suppose.
Fit as a butcher's dog, absolutely, Sean. You're absolutely right. So, this little biplane, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, I say it dated from 1945. It's got very interesting history. It's been flown both by His Royal Highness Prince Philip and His Royal Highness Prince Charles, making this aircraft a true Royal Sun Alliance. As I said, Richard is a commercial airline pilot, flies the Boeing 767. If he tried any of these stunts in one of those, I think he'd have a few complaints. Not from me, though. I would love to be in one of those.
I think he's taken his cigar out of his mouth long enough to tell us this is his last bit of flying before he comes into land.
This is the high alpha knife edge configuration, ladies and gentlemen. That engine just powering its way down the runway. Fantastic bit of flying, that.